Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session. We appreciate you for taking out the time to join us this Friday for a very interesting and special session. And I hope you have all had a great week so far. So today we'll be continuing our virtual information session, and we'll be joined by guest speakers today. Alicia Koba, the fitness and lifestyle coordinator from the athletics and recreation section, along with Kelly, Joe, and Clifford, who will be working with her throughout the presentation. So today we'll be talking about the different services ranging from sport clubs, fitness options to campus recreation available to students at York University. So before we get started, though, I would like to pass it off to my colleague Ariba, who will be taking you through a small Kahoot assessment to be able to get to know each of you better. And Ariba, over to you.
Thank you, Rachel. So let me just share my screen. We have a little Kahoot presentation just to gauge the audience. I will share that now. So if you go to kahoot.com and you just put in this, or .it, and put in this game pin 4677752, and you can just scan the QR code. If you want to remain anonymous, you don't have to put your name or anything, just put something else. But yeah, you can use the app too if you'd like. If the Kahoot doesn't work for you, you can put in your answers in the chat as well. Just give folks like a minute to join. Okay, we got 5 people in so far. You can scan the QR code if you'd like. Join at the website with the game pin 4677752. I think we're waiting on a few more people. Anybody just joining us, you can join this Kahoot at Kahoot IT and then put in that game pin 4677752, or you can use a QR code. Okay, I'll start now. Is everyone good to go? Thumbs up. Okay. I'll start it. And again, if you can't access the Kahoot, you could always put your answers in the chat or direct message us your answers. That's fine too. Okay, so the first question we have here is a word cloud. Please tell us which city or country you're joining us from. This is just to see, if we have any international students joining us, so we can cater maybe some of the content to them, or to just see, where you're from. We're always, interested in seeing. Canada's a very diverse country, with people from all over the world, so we'd love to know where you're from. Hey, Hungary, India, Ottawa, Madagascar, Colombia. I think this is the most diverse we've had. Brampton, okay. I think the word cloud is bigger with the more people that are from the area, so that's that. That's good to know. Our next question is a poll. What brings you to today's session? So you're either a incoming fall-winter student, you're a parent or family member of an upcoming fall-winter student, or you're looking to learn more general information about York University or other. You don't fit in any of those other three categories. Okay, so we got a lot of upcoming fall winter students, which is what these virtual info sessions are catered for, which is who these are catered for. And we got some that are looking to learn more general information about York University. That's great. Our next question is a poll. Please rank the following York-related topics that you'd most like to learn about. So this is not just for this session, but for future sessions. So you're here at this session for campus recreation and athletics to learn more about that. But if you're interested in any other sessions, we do have a lot more on our Eventbrite page that will cover all of these other sections as well. Just before you enter, your first year, if you want to know about any of these other topics, you can select multiple, more than one. Okay, so we got a lot of people interested in student community organizations and campus buildings and residents, which is great. And then that's followed by campus recreation and athletics. You're in the right place. Enrollment in finances, commuting and city transit, and York history and values. York history is actually very underrated. It's very interesting history, but to not go on a rant, to stop myself from going on a rant, I'll stop here. There are 3 other questions that I'll get to at the end of the presentation to gauge how you felt about the presentation. So I'll stop sharing for now, though, and pass it over to Alicia.
Awesome. So just let me share my screen. Kelly will actually be starting us off. Perfect.
Awesome. I'll jump right in. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking time to learn more about athletics and recreation. As Alicia said, my name is Kelly. And for the next little bit or so, we're all going to share a little bit about athletics and rec. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat or raise your hand, and we can get to it either throughout the presentation or at the end. We're pretty flexible over here. All right, so moving right along, athletics and rec is a lot of fun. It's not only for those that are into like physical activity and fitness. You may think of it like that. You may think of it as games, varsity sports, watching. But it's also for those of you who are aspiring to be, more maybe fit, more athletic, maybe to get involved, maybe to meet other folks, maybe play some games together, make some friends. So that is also what athletics is about. And our mission and our vision is to ensure that you all are, taking advantage and make sure you're being healthy and engaged and overall just great wellness. And they were part of also the Division of Students. So Division of Students is under the student umbrella, and it overall, again, is to make sure you all are successful as students and you all contribute to be global leaders at the end. I think there may be a timer on this.
Yeah, I think there's a
We'll have
timer.
to
So sorry, I'm
disable that.
going to have it open like this. Sorry, it looks like there's a timer on it.
Yeah. All right, moving right along, varsity athletics as well is one of the umbrellas, one of the subunits. So under athletics, you can attend games for free. So as York University students, and you can tell all your friends, that are coming into York, when we do have our games starting in the September school year, August 30th or 31st might be our first varsity game. How many of you here like watching sports? You can type it in the chat. How many of you like playing sports? Let me know. Raise your hand. You can use the free actions and features in the Zoom. If you like playing sports or if you like watching sports, yep, Mohammed, I see that. And Hilario, excellent, perfect. So there's some of you that likes that, then you can definitely be able to do that. And it's for free. So you can come on and show your student ID card, and then you'll get in for free. And as well, you can also eat. A lot of people don't know this, but you can eat and drink. You can bring food to our venues, and you can have like lunch or dinner all together with your friends. So that's okay to bring in food. Why not? If you're like, rather than sitting at home, you can come out, watch a game, and enjoy some food with friends. And another fun thing is we have free giveaways and prizes too. So if you like, who likes free t-shirts, we do towel tosses into the audience, like t-shirts. If you like free swag items, hats, maybe baseball caps, maybe like flashlights, things like that, pens, etc. So we'll have some of those giveaways as well, and noisemakers as well for you to cheer on the York Lions team. And then I'll pass it over to Alicia to chat a little about facilities and memberships.
Yeah, so I do apologize for my voice. I'm a little getting over a cold, so I do apologize. So for our facility, so I did see a question about a gym. So our main fitness center is called the Tate McKenzie Fitness Center. It's on the north end of campus. And it's kind of our main space that has our fitness center, which I'm going to mention a bit more later, but it also has our gym spaces, so where you can play basketball and volleyball, drop-in times. It's quite a large facility. 11,000 square feet. We're quite proud of it. And we're actually going to get a big update in our fitness center this summer as well. But outside of the fitness center, close to it, we have some outdoor tennis courts. We also have squash courts in our basement. So for those who like to play squash, if there's any swimmers, we have a 25-meter pool. So we do things like lane swim, and also kind of like a recreation swim as well for those that need, that would like that. But then we also have our fields as well, which we'll get a little bit more into with some other stuff, but lots of space for those who are experienced exercisers. I saw there's some people who said they like to play sports, so lots of space for you. But then also if people are wanting to learn how to play any sports, lots of opportunities to do that. So for our fields, our main field, where some of our varsity athletes play, is Alumni Field. So that's where we'll usually see field hockey, American football, and soccer or European football. And then we also have some baseball diamonds as well. Canland, so this is where our hockey teams play. It's essentially across the street. It's super close by. Same with the track and field center, basically across the street, not too far. So we're going to talk about memberships next, but your membership at Tate, if you get a membership with us, you also get a membership to the track and field center as well. So they have a full track there. There's also like a weight area, machines and all that as well. So great space. And then the Aviva Center, which I think was actually recently changed to the Sobey Center, I think very recently. So the Sobey Center, we host the Rogers Cup normally every year. So that's where that has access to. Your exams also might be there as well. Technically, it's a space that we kind of use every once in a while, but options there. And then, so memberships, I kind of brought this up already. We have two types of memberships for students. There's one membership that we call the recreation membership. So what that is essentially it gets you general access to the facility. It is no cost to you as a student, as long as you've registered and you are currently in courses. This membership is free. This will get you access to the drop-in swim, or so the lane swim or the leisure swim is what we also call that time slot. If you want to book any courts, so like the tennis courts, squash courts, if you want to come to drop in sport time, so that would be like volleyball, basketball, soccer, cricket. We have a whole bunch of different drop-in sports. That would get you access to those. You also get access to the locker rooms as well. And with your rec membership, you could also rent or purchase equipment from us as well. Okay. Then the second membership we have is the fitness membership. So this gets you essentially everything the recreation membership has. It's currently $25 for the year from when you purchase. So essentially, let's say you purchase now, it would get you until August 31st, if I remember it correctly. So just whenever you purchase, it gets you to August 31st. The new school year, if you bought it September 1st, it would get you to August 31st. So it's always that same end date. But you get everything in the recreation membership, but then you also get access to all of our fitness classes, which I'll go over later. There's a lot there. But then you get access to the fitness center as well that I referenced earlier. And students with the fitness membership also get access to our free cooking classes and seminars, which I will also reference a little bit later. If you want to leave items at Tate, we have locker services. So there's a bunch of locker sizes that you can use. If you want to purchase a locker, lots of options, but then we also have day lockers. You just have to bring your own lock. You leave your stuff. You can leave your stuff all day. You just have to empty it before we close for the evening. And then if you have friends or family in the area that also want to use our space, they also have access. You can do a 1-day guest pass, but they can also get memberships as well. Our space is not just restricted to the population at York. People outside of York can use it as well. So if there's family or friends, they're happy to join as well. And then if folks want to walk around with York swag, with stuff that like you can see that Kelly and I are wearing, if you want stuff similar, or if you want to get some hats or you just see something you really want it, we have a Pride shop. We have it at Tate as our main location, but we also have an online store as well. So if anyone's interested in that, you can check out the Pride shop. I'm going to pass it over to Joe because he's going to talk about sport clubs.
Thank you, Alicia. Yeah, I was actually just responding to someone who had asked if we have sport clubs running in the summer. So I can just answer that right now before I start. We currently have archery, cheerleading, dragon boat, women's flag football, and kendo and taekwondo running right now. And later in the summer, in about a month or two, probably in the beginning of August, we will have rugby, swim, and fastball running as well. So I hope that answers your question. If not, you can just put in the chat if you require additional information. Okay, so sport clubs is basically, to keep it vague, I would say, and pretty, and not to get too complicated, it's a way to stay active while participating in recreation sports. And we also have, sport clubs that run in a competitive window that also participate in OUA championships, which is Ontario University Athletics, and they participate in tournaments within Ontario as well, and playoffs and things like that. So these are currently the sport clubs that we have. We have archery, badminton, baseball, cheerleading, curling, dance, dragon boat, esports, fastball, fencing, figure skating, flag football, golf, hip hop dance, and also recreation dance as well. There's 2 different dances just to specify: kendo, lacrosse, ringette, rugby, swim, and taekwondo. We also have women's flag football as well. So like I said, this is, as Alicia previously talked about the memberships, there's a way to pay the memberships and also inquire in terms of having a sport club memberships. They're 2 different, but I think we're working on a system that allows you to get both. Don't quote me on that. There's things up in the air right now to start in September, but if you go to our York U Lions website, there's further information as well. So in the simplest form, this is a way to stay active while also participate. All the clubs, for the most part, they practice and participate in tournaments on a weekly basis. Some clubs practice 5 to 6 times a week, in the morning, afternoon, evening. Some clubs practice, once or twice a week. It depends on the extent of the club and how competitive they are, how much they want to, how many members they have. So there's a couple of different variables as well. So yeah, if you look on the slide right now, you can just click the links. So we can provide those links later. And yeah, I hope that answers majority of your questions. If you have any questions, just feel free to type it in the chat, or you can raise your hand right now. Thank you. No, there's no basketball or soccer. Those are varsity sports.
All right. I'm gonna
Thank you.
start up again. Sorry, you're gonna hear me a lot today. I'm just gonna quickly go over aquatics and first aid. So our aquatics rep was unable to make it today. So if you have questions that I might not be able to answer, or anyone on the team might not know, what we can do for aquatics and first aid is we can always give you a contact and you can ask the questions there if needed. Okay. But with aquatics, so we have, like I mentioned before, we have like a drop-in swim, our like leisure swim, lane swim. So the times do change from term to term. There's usually around a morning, midday, and then an evening swim. At least 2 swims a day, I find we usually have, and then there's usually weekend swims as well. When it comes to the lane swims, what we usually suggest is if folks want to kind of do more of like a fitness swim, they go in the faster lanes. And then if you're kind of still learning a little bit, or you just want to take it a little bit easy, we suggest you go in the slower lane. So just keep that in mind if you are going to come in for your rec or lane swim, just kind of keep note of what lanes are what. We also have swim lessons. So this is a great way, like if someone wants to learn how to swim, we have a bunch of different options. There's private lessons where it's one-on-one, it's just you and our swim coach. And based on what your current level is and based on where you want to get to, there's a lot of different ways you can go through that. There are group swim lessons as well. So it's a little bit cheaper because they're group. So if you're okay not having that one-on-one help, then that's one option as well if you really want to learn how to swim. If you already know how to swim, let's say you want to work for us and you want to be a lifeguard or a swim instructor, we have courses to be able to do that. We offer those, but if you're already a lifeguard or you already have your qualifications to be a swim instructor, you could also, we're always looking for lifeguards and swim instructors. So from what I hear, so we're always open to getting resumes and stuff for that. So just keep that in mind if that's something that you currently have, or if you want to learn how to do that and you think you're a strong swimmer, it's a great option to work for us. For first aid, so we offer emergency and standard first aid. The standard first aid does run more often than the emergency first aid does. So just keep that in mind, but there are essentially 2 different versions. The emergency is a bit more basic first aid, and then the standard goes a bit more in depth. It's a longer course. We do have pretty competitive prices, so if you need this for employment, you just want it to have just in case, then it's a great opportunity. There are first aid leadership courses and like aquatics leadership courses. There's a bunch of different options. So like I said, if you're curious, I would just recommend going to Rec Online. You can see what we have for those options of those leadership courses to see what might pique your interest and go from there. And like the aquatic section, if you're interested in working for us, if you think you have really strong first aid skills, then we're always looking for first aid instructors. We have courses running constantly. So if you have that skill, you can become an instructor through us as well. So I'm just gonna make sure that there's no questions because I'm gonna keep chatting a little bit. I do apologize. So we're gonna go into the fitness and lifestyle section. So this is my area. So we, like I mentioned earlier, if you get the fitness membership, you also get access with no additional cost to our group classes. So we have a lot of different options. We offer a variety of dance classes. So currently we have Latin dance, African dance, we call it Afro dance, and then we also have Bollywood dance as well, and we have our traditional Zumba. In the yoga, we have kind of your like traditional Western yoga, we have power, all levels, but then we also do offer 2 Eastern style yogas. So the 2 instructors we have for that section, they were trained in India rather than Canada. So it's a very different style of yoga, but it's something that people really appreciate and really enjoy. We do also have a lot of Muay Thai classes, so, and just martial arts classes in general. So we offer 2 types of Muay Thai. There's like a all open Muay Thai, but then we also have a women's only. And then we have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class as well, which is also an open style class. So lots of great options. And then we have your traditional fitness classes as well. So like your boot camps, your lifting classes and all that. So lots of options. There's usually something for everyone in our group classes, especially when the fitness center gets a little busy. They're a great option for those that might want to work out at a certain time, but fitness center is too full, then you can go down there. For our fitness center, so like I said, you need that fitness membership. Lots of different styles of equipment we have. We have some new cardio equipment, but then we also offer fitness time slots in one of our private studios. So again, if you have the fitness membership, if you want a women's only space or an LGBTQ plus only space, we currently offer, not in the summer, but it'll be fall winter. We'll have those time slots available. So if the fitness center is a bit too busy or it's a little too overwhelming and you identify with one of those groups, you can go down into one of our studios to work out down there instead. It's not open all the time though, it's usually just open during certain hours. Then like I mentioned before, we have a couple services. So our cooking classes and seminars, if you have the fitness membership, this comes with your fitness membership, you don't have to pay extra. If you decide that the fitness membership's not really for you, but you would like to join maybe 1 or 2 seminars or 1 or 2 cooking classes, it will just be $5 per class. So it's nothing, so it's super affordable still. But we offer essentially, actually for the fall winter, we're going to be offering quite a few classes. We're going to be offering 2 cooking classes and 2 seminars a month. The cooking classes will range from breakfast to dinner to protein-rich beverages, snacks, and desserts and stuff. And the seminars will also be a very wide variety as well. The cooking classes will be dorm friendly. So if you don't have a full stove or full oven, that is fine. Our space that we're providing these classes in don't have a stove or an oven, so we're being friendly that way. And then these seminars, again, will be 2 a month. Again, wide variety. We do things like fertility health, we do hair care, we do like nutrition stuff as well in those sessions. So a lot of variety. So if you're interested in what we offer, we don't currently have the classes up for what we're offering the fall winter term. We're still finalizing that schedule, but you can always just check out Rec Online when you're interested. Or as you get a little closer to the term, and then that will be available to you, okay? And then a new program that we're offering. So we just started this last fall. It's something that we call the outdoor experience. So essentially we just take you outside and have fun outside. So we have a variety of different levels of how quote unquote fit you need to be, but mostly everyone can do all of the programs that we're offering to a certain extent. We did treetop trekking, so that would just be if you're afraid of heights, maybe don't join that one, but that's really the only thing. We did snow tubing, lots of hikes, we did horseback riding, things like that. So we have a lot of great things planned for the fall winter term. If you're around in the summer, and you're kind of want a little taste of what we're offering, anyone can join this program as well. So if you kind of want a little taste of what we're offering, we do have a couple summer programs running. So you're more than welcome to join that program even before you're a student and you're around the university. Like I mentioned, we have our drop-in fitness. If folks are looking for something to do at home, we do have or on our YouTube page, we call it Move on Demand. That might get renamed. So if you see a different name, I do apologize in the future, but it's essentially free fitness classes. They're classes that we had run over COVID lockdowns to give our group something to do from us. So they're free classes, they're fully recorded. You follow an instructor who's on screen and you just follow through the classes. If you're interested in organizing something for a group, so let's say you end up being part of a student council or a student club, we can provide you fitness programs. There is an intramural version. Cliff will probably talk about that when we get there. There's an intramural version of that as well, but we can do a one-off, we can do scheduled classes, so that's an option. Sorry, there's a lot, I'm so sorry. And then the last section here, just some additional programming. So if you're looking for one-on-one personal training or nutrition services, we have trainers, and then we also have a holistic nutritionist on our staff who can help you. This is an additional cost. Depending on how many sessions you purchase will change how much it costs. And you can do that either in Tate with us, or we can do it over Zoom. So people tend to like to do the nutrition over Zoom. But we also have a couple private studios for the personal training if, again, the fitness center is not quite your space. And then the last thing for me is our personal training certification program. So if let's say you're really into fitness, you kind of want to get other people into it, you're really into exercising, or you're interested potentially in joining our team, we have a personal training certification program. It's a fully in-person format, but it's essentially an 8 to 9 week program, just depends if I'm away for a week or not. And we teach you how to be a personal trainer. So we give you all the background information. You don't need any fitness knowledge. You don't need to be a kin student to run this, to join this program. And we teach you how to be a personal trainer. We teach you all the skills. We give you all that background, like I said before. So another option, It's a great program. I love teaching it. It's really fun all the time. And I always learn something different from the different people that take the class. But bunch of different options from the fitness and lifestyles area. There will be new programs that you might see us advertise later on that are kind of in the works right now for our fall start. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm going to pass it on to Cliff to talk about intramurals.
All right, thank you. So thank you for all coming. Thank you for having me here. So intramurals, you can go to the next slide actually. So intramural sports, so for those who don't know what intramurals are, so they're actually recreational sport leagues and tournaments that we offer here at York University. We're actually one of the largest intramural programs in the country. We offer about over 40 different leagues and tournaments throughout the year. And we offer them at various levels of play as well as various divisions. So as you see there, we offer men's, women's, and co-ed divisions in terms of our leagues and programming. We also offer open divisions, which has no restrictions. And then we also offer multiple levels of play. So we offer a competitive level, which is basically for those who have played sports for a number of years, who play at a high level. Our semi-competitive, which is more of our average level. So those who may have played sports before, but they want to play it at a reasonable pace. And also a recreational level, which is either those who want to play for fun or for those who are new to the sport and want to learn it. And they basically is more of a slower pace. There's less officiating, but also just it's easier for you to play and learn a sport, and there's some supports in that regard as well. So there's different ways for you to join. You can either join creating a team with a bunch of friends. You can join as a free agent and register yourself. You can also register through your college as well. And we also offer a lot of, in terms of other things, so we also have a lot of over women's only programs and as well as drop-in activities and other opportunities. Next slide. So these are some of the leagues that we offer. One thing I would say that in terms of our programming, if you think of a sport, there's a good chance we either are offering it or getting ready to offer it. So this is the current list we have. There are some new programs that we actually will be adding in for this coming fall. Ball hockey will be one of them, as well as seated volleyball, as well as wheelchair basketball. You can see here we offer these throughout the school year. So we offer programming both in the fall as well as the winter, and also a limited program as well during the spring and summer. Next slide. In addition, we also have a lot of tournaments. Most of our tournaments are one-day tournaments as well as a couple two-day tournaments. They tend to be on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, depending on the tournament. The majority of them are on Saturdays during the day, normally between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. In addition to some of our racket sports, those tournaments tend to be during the week. They tend to be either 4 to 6 or 3 to 7. And in addition, I want to highlight our Rage Dodgeball and Rage Volleyball. So those two events are actually overnight tournaments. So those actually start from 8 p.m. at night, and they run all the way till 8 a.m. the next day. And essentially, it's a nonstop tournament. There's multiple rounds. It's a lot of fun. We normally get about 40 to 50 teams that show up to play in those. We also do a lot of costume contests, prizing, extra food, and things like that. So we try to make it a big event every year for those. So our dodgeball tournament runs in the fall, and then our volleyball tournament runs in the winter. Next slide. So basically, so as I was mentioning earlier, so some in-person programming. So we offer different leagues of sports. So we also allow our leagues as well as special events. So we also offer bowling and curling and all of our all-night tournaments I mentioned before. We also do a lot of accessible programming. We've been doing a lot this a couple of years. So we offer wheelchair basketball, seated volleyball, and as well, we also have a partnership with Special Olympics. We run a unified basketball tournament every winter. In addition, we also have casual programming. So this is not this is like less organized. It's more just drop-in programming. So we have different drop-in sports. We have badminton, basketball, cricket, futsal, ice hockey, as well as squash, tennis, and table tennis. So those are offered primarily during the mornings and afternoons. There are some evening slots as well here and there. We're looking to try to expand that a bit more. In addition, for our drop-in sports, we're also looking to expand that, offering more women's only slots, as well as LGBTQ plus slots as well for those communities that they want to join up. They'll be primarily in our upper gym. As well, we also are into the casual programming. We also have offering board game nights. So maybe you don't want to play sports, you want to just come and just enjoy some board games for a couple hours. We offer those. We're finalizing the date we're doing those, but those will normally are Wednesday or Thursday evenings between 5 and 8. And then, just like everyone else, we're always hiring. We're one of the largest employers on campuses. We also hire a lot of refs as well as sport conveners. student assistants and volunteers. So if you're looking for a job in sport and recreation or in internal sports, we're always hiring. Cool. I think that's everything for me.
Awesome. Thanks, Clifford. I'll jump in here to talk about Pride Shop for a little bit. So I think Alicia alluded to this a little bit, maybe, about our wonderful merch that we're wearing. So if you'd like to get your own, you can as well. We offer various things. So yorkielions.ca/Pride Shop. I can drop that link in the chat later. But if you'd like to, you can take a look at those. We have bucket hats, baseball caps, water bottles, sweaters online. There's some sales happening as well right now because it's Pride Month. We have a Pride Month sale with all our cool t-shirts and colorful hearts. So we have a women's sale not too long ago. So that was really nice too for some of us. We got discounts. We have bags, mittens, and much more. So there, depending on what you like, feel free to check that website out and get your own Lions gear. It's the largest retailer on campus for Lions gear, though. So you may not be able to find it. You can find it at the bookstore, but most of it will be at Tate McKenzie, which is where the fitness center is located. Anything to add about Pride Shop for others? I don't know if Clifford, Joe, anything? No? Yeah, perfect. The next one is about working for us. So as Clifford already mentioned, we hire a lot of students, and I mean a lot of students, right? There's 400 part-time opportunities, a great way to get involved, as I mentioned in the beginning, earn some extra cash on the side. If you're thinking about some working experience in Canada or just in general, you want to get into sports or fitness, there's everything, something for everyone. We have the client services front desk, everything about that. We have equipment services in the back. If you're thinking more like events or facilities, we have that. If you want to work for marketing, that's where I'm part of, marketing and communications. If you're like a designer, if you're photography, videography, or just promotions. And of course, there's administrative roles. So a little bit of everything, and you get to learn and work all together with different folks and community members as well. So we hire a lot of international students as well. So Alicia or Clifford, Joe, anything to add about working for us?
If you're interested in working in the fall, winter, I think we're doing hiring. I think everyone's generally doing hiring in July. So just keep an eye out. We have our socials coming up. So I would just say keep an eye out on our socials if you are interested in working for us this fall, winter. Just keep an eye out on our socials for when the jobs get posted.
Yeah, or if right now, if you just go to yorkielions.ca/employment, you can already start to browse through and take a look at the different opportunities and the different like skills and requirements. And we also, you don't have to be like very sporty. Like if you have some knowledge of sports or a little bit or no knowledge, that's okay too, depending on the role, right? So yeah. Okay, I don't think Cliff or Joe has anything to add. Last but not least, we're almost at the end. So again, this is our social media, as Alicia said, connect with us. We have, X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We have the app. That's a really cool. I'll do a quick plug for the app, the York U A&R app. It has lots of cool information in there. So that's a great place to start, or our website, York U Lions. Otherwise, you can always email tatemck@yorkie.ca, and that's all our information. So if you have any of these social media, feel free to connect with us. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to us. If there's any questions, I love the questions that are coming in. We'll get to those as well. Yeah, back to the team. I think Clara, maybe?
Thank you, Cliff, Alicia, Kelly, and Joe for your amazing presentation. Like Kelly said, if you guys have any more questions, please put them in the chat and we'll answer them.
Oh, I was muted earlier. Just realized that. I was saying for Joe, I think that's a question about the difference between club and varsity, maybe a Joe question. Oh, there he is. He's already typed it in. That's why. Have you got through all the questions, Clara? I wasn't sure if you were following along, if there's anything that we might have missed. I tried to reply. I know my colleagues did.
Yes, I'm looking through them right now. I'm not sure if you guys have answered this question. Someone has private messaged me. What virtual sports and fitness programs are currently available at York University?
So virtual fitness programs, I think that's Alicia, and then virtual
Yeah, so
sport.
yeah, so
Go ahead.
I'll let Cliff chat if for his intramural stuff, he's sport. But for fitness, we don't do much in terms of virtual items just because most people have asked for our services to move back online. However, like I mentioned earlier, we have the YouTube page with like the recorded fitness classes that we ran over lockdown. So anyone has access to those right now. So so you could watch those at your own time. Sometimes we'll offer like a seminar online or something like that, but most of the times it will be an in-person program. And then Cliff and Joe, I don't know if your areas do anything.
Yeah, in terms of intramural sports, we don't currently are offering any virtual sports at this point in time, just because similar to the fitness area, a lot of our participants, they prefer to more back in person. So we don't really currently offer anything at this point in time in terms of virtual sport programs or esports. But there's an esport club for that as well.
Great, thank you, Cliff and Alicia. I also have another question in the chat. Someone has asked, does the gym have any women hours?
Yep, so our women's only times don't run over the summer, but during the fall winter, we usually have about 9 hours a week in Studio 3 that it's women's only. So it's run, so our female identifying fitness staff will run the space. And then that's how that works. Sometimes we also have women's only classes as well. So women's only Muay Thai will offer. But at the moment, those are we only have women's only Muay Thai in the summer. The fall winter will have the drop in, and I think Cliff usually sometimes has women's only drop in, if I remember right. Yeah. And there might be like women's only swim as well. I'm speaking for aquatics when I don't know 100%, but in the past they've done that as well. So lots of options out there.
Thank you, Alicia, for your response. And lastly, someone has asked, how can students stay informed about upcoming fitness events?
Last questions for me today. Okay. So the recommendation we always have is always follow us on Instagram. So I can post our Instagram pages again. So even like Cliff stuff and intramurals will be on the intramural page, and varsity as well will be on the varsity page. So I would recommend following all three. We currently have 3 Instagram pages. So most of the fitness stuff will be under the York U Recreation. I'm going to type them out as I talk so I don't forget. And then we have York U Intramurals, and then we have York U Lions. So that's where I would suggest you just kind of follow us in general. I did see a question earlier that I don't think we answered. It was someone asking about weight loss. Someone was asking about workout equipment for people on a weight loss journey. So in general, whatever your fitness goals are, if it's weight loss, weight gain, you want to be more athletic, whatever it is, the fitness center is kind of made for that group. It's made for a wide variety of people. So we have cardio equipment, we have something that we call selectorized equipment. So if you're not familiar with that, it's essentially you're stuck into one movement. So it's like your bicep curl machine. We have a bunch of types of equipment like that. And then we have our plate loaded area. So essentially it's like your bench press, your squats, all that stuff. And also we have a big dumbbell area. And then we have our traditional like kind of functional area, I guess is what we'll call it. So that is where you could have like tires, battle ropes, things like that. Like I mentioned a bunch of times, we are updating our space, so that will change significantly between now and the end of the summer. So we will still have all that types of equipment though. It'll just change slightly based on what we've noticed kind of this group is wanting, and stuff like that. So lots of great options. I always suggest our group classes as well. If you kind of struggle more with consistency, they're the same hours every week. They just change from term to term normally. So if you're looking for consistency, then I would go to group classes, but supplement that with maybe something in the fitness center is a great option. So, but I'm happy to chat more if someone needs that.
Thank you, Alicia, for answering the questions. I will pass it on to my team lead, Aretha, now.
Thank you, Clara, and thank you everyone that presented today and answered all those amazing student questions. I'm just gonna share my screen again for the last little Kahoot presentation. Also, I posted a link in the chat for Student Life YU's YouTube channel, which is where this will all be posted. And once we get the recording for this, it would also be sent out. I'm just going to share my screen. You can join the Kahoot again if you left by accident, but there's the game pin down there, 4677752. And then we're also going to share some information about how you can join future events at the end of this presentation. So let me just go to the next question. So this is a scale question, just asking how helpful today's session was. You can also drop it in the chat. That's great too. Okay, let's see the answers here. Very satisfied. That's great. And always, if you have any other questions for our team, and for the athletics and rec team, they put in their emails previously, and there was also a slide about that. We'll also be sending out the slides if possible. But yeah. So what is something that you would like to know more about going forward? This can be anything relating to more about athletics and rec, or anything really about your first year journey. Joining sports teams, joining varsity teams. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I think there's an email there that you can send if one of our athletics and rec personnel can put that in there in the chat. That would be great. And then finally, we just have a QR code here that you can scan to follow us on Instagram. We'll post a lot more events on here coming up, York 101s, campus tours, and you can also visit our Eventbrite page, which I'll just ask Rachel or Clara to put in the chat. And there you can follow us, or no, you can scan this QR code to go to the Eventbrite page, and then you can follow us on Instagram if you look up Student Life YU, and then they'll also put the link in the chat for that. But this will take you to the Eventbrite page. Okay, I think that is all I have for everyone today. Any other last minute comments from anybody? Going once, going twice? Okay, I'd like to thank again all of the amazing presenters and the presentations that they presented. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for answering questions. And for everybody asking questions, thank you. We made it a very interactive session. I will let you enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And I will just end the meeting now. Okay, bye everyone.